the radio placement.
Yeah, radio placement is I don't get how, you know, we do all the testing, all the wind tunnel testing without radios and keeping everything as sleek as possible, and then you put that lump in what seems to me like a very awkward place. If anything, it should be right behind your helmet. There's certainly a lot of better places where you can put that radio.
Arnaud Demar on descent. Hope he is anyway. He's travelling at 62 kilometres per hour.
I don't think he's going uphill, that's for sure.
Have a lot of anger to put into his ride, I think, after the way things have gone in the last 36 hours. Here's the man who's made him rather angry. Brian Coquard winning yesterday and this morning.
Interesting to see someone like Nairo Quintana, who's going up this climb. He was sitting up in his what we call the base bar, where Brian Coquard is holding his hands right now, throughout the whole climb, all the way up to the very top. Whereas a lot of people seem to be sitting down in the time trial position for a very long period of time, and it's just a difference in if you're a climber, then you tend to want to sit in a particular position. Someone who's got the strongest core strength tends to want to sit down in that time trialing position. It's just what you get used to effectively.
It's funny, isn't it, because Nairo Quintana is actually an exceptional time trialist. When he came on the scene, a lot of people perhaps sticking to Colombian cliches and saying, okay, he's just a climber, he's lacking it all round. But you look at the guy, all right, he's no Chris Froome, but he certainly is an exceptional time trialist, and on any good day he's a candidate to take a win in this discipline.
Yeah, I mean, he's always there or thereabouts, which you have to be to be a Grand Tour contender. He's certainly well, if you pitch him up on any local 10-mile time trial, then he's going to turn a few heads. There's no doubt about that. Not just because it's him rocking up, and I mean,
class bike rider as well. You just look at his pedalling style. He's a class bike rider. Of course, one of the best talents to come out of South America in the history of the sport, and still at a young age, only 26 now. Nairo Quintana at the perfect age that if he does finally get that big Tour win this year, he's already won the Giro d'Italia, of course. If he wins the Tour de France, he's a guy that could go on and dominate the race.
Yeah, I certainly think he could, and he's getting in towards his peak years here now with when it comes to Grand Tour racing.
He's also riding for one of the strongest teams, and statistically, I know a lot of people will say, well, Team Sky have got a bit more money, they've probably got a better selection of riders, although Movistar are no slouches, but statistically, Movistar have been the best team for the last 3 years now.
Yeah, they have
the more points than anybody else. As we look at Stéphane Pouly, we haven't seen too much of this face, at least he's riding on the blue skies now. You can see he's not pulling too many faces, and that's reflected in the time. Almost 18 minutes, so 2:03.10 down from Sylvain Chavanel. Not troubling the scorers, Stéphane Pouly. Back with Quintana, back onto the motor racing circuit. Takes that corner well. In the meantime, we're here with José Joaquim Rojas, his teammate. Last 300 metres for him. So José Joaquim Rojas onto the final straight, 16:32. It's been a very decent ride from JJ Rojas. Top 5 on each stage so far. José Joaquim Rojas isn't going to be quite as close this time, but it's going to be decent enough. 53 seconds down for 28th position. 2 big turns to go for Nairo Quintana. This big sweeping left followed by the large sweeping right. Does he have enough to trouble Sylvain Chavanel in the stage win? He's certainly going to be up there as far as the overall is concerned. If not today, then tomorrow. He's shown great form so far. In the break yesterday, he started off in 3rd position before this 3rd stage. Bonus seconds from the break 24 hours ago, and here he is with 250 meters to go. Time to get that time on screen and flashing up. 15:31. He could well be quicker than Sylvain Chavanel, and I think we're looking at the winner of stage 3 of the Route du Sud. 15:40 ticks on. Chavanel's time at 15:51 is going to be beaten 6 seconds quicker, and Nairo Quintana looks as though he's about to take the time trial and the lead of the Route du Sud, and that is a magnificent ride.
Yeah, big respect to Nairo Quintana for that effort. That was a special ride.
Very, very good stuff, calculated to perfection towards the end, and when we saw Chavanel not just setting the best time but hammering everybody else's time, we knew that it was going to be extremely difficult. From this particular selection of riders we have, not noted for too many big time trialists in here, to find somebody who'd challenge it. Nairo Quintana was that man. Only Arnaud Démare and Brian Coquard can now take the win out of him, and well, given their time trialing records and the fact that we have a couple of little hills here, it's probably going to be very difficult. We shall see. We'll give Démare and Coquard all the effort that they can and the chance they can to try and get over the line. Démare in particular has been a big disappointment in this last couple of days. So I'm sure he will be very, very happy that he won Milan-San Remo and wouldn't swap that for the world.
No,
First French rider in a long, long time to take that win.
I don't think anyone would swap that one. Last kilometre for Démare.
Into the final K then. White jersey honours the best young rider before today. Brian Coquard occupying that position. Démare in second place, so the jersey was handed down to him. And Arnaud Démare and Française Desjeux at the minute struggling at this race. Direct Energy won't be too disappointed, of course. Sylvain Chavanel, I think he'll be pretty happy with the form he's in ahead of the French National Time Trial Championships coming up in less than a week's time now.
Yeah, I think he definitely should be happy with that. It's a longer time trial, but I think he's certainly going to be one of the men to beat there, if not the man to beat.
I know that Thibaut Pinot was interested in that as well. He was looking at the hard course and thinking, well, I'd quite like a double trickle or to wear for the next year, and certainly at the Tour de France, but that would be a big, big effort to take that 2 times in a week before the Tour, but you never know, he should be informed by now. In the meantime, this is Arnaud Démare finishing. They have no time, though, to compare it to that of Nairo Quintana, and by the lack of exultation by anybody at the roadside, you have to suggest that it's not one to trouble the scorers. This is Brian Coquard then. Final entrance to the motor racing circuit here in Albi for him on the Route du Sud. .16:07 for Arnaud Démare, we're hearing. 4th best time so far, so all credit to Arnaud Démare for a very, very good time.
Yeah, fair play. That's a strong ride if that's actually a correct time set down by Arnaud Démare. It looked like he was going strong on the flat and falls flat downhill, so yeah, you've got to take your hat off to him.
Oh, we saw that, didn't we? That statistic, was it 62 kilometers per hour or something he was travelling at, and it didn't look like he was going down the side of a mountain, did it?
No, exactly.
Here is Brian Coquard then. What's he managed to pull out the bag? Keep an eye on his time, because he is now the only man to be able to beat Nairo Quintana on the road and take away the stage win. Using every little bit of the road as he comes to 500 meters to the finish.
It's the only one that we've seen for some time to actually go around that corner still in his time trial position, so he's certainly had a look at that one this morning or afternoon.
Here is Brian Coquard then. Final corner. Time to have a look again as he uses all of the road, sprinting towards the line, something he's been very good at so far. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a very good time. Not good enough to beat Nairo Quintana, though, who does win stage 3 of the Route du Sud. But Brian Coquard up there fighting for the race lead, but at 21.63 seconds down, he gives the jersey to Nairo Quintana, who takes stage 3 and moves into the lead at the Route du Sud 2016. So good ride from Brian Coquard, leadership for 2 days. and of course the 2-stage wins, but it is a day that belongs to Nairo Quintana, winning the stage wonderfully well, sending a message to Sky, Tinkoff, Frances Desjeux and everybody else ahead of the Tour de France, also taking the race lead